Hello, and welcome to another Ask Us Anything live with Intrepid English. My name is Kate Dar, and I'm a senior English teacher with Intrepid English. Every Friday, I go live and I talk about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or any question that any of my students might have had that I can clarify in English for you and for them. So, this Friday, I would like to talk about a very useful question that I had never thought of before. And one of my amazing students asked me, and I have actually already done a video on the possessive apostrophe S. But I need to add to it after this question from my student. So this question was, do we have apostrophe S with inanimate objects? The short answer, I've since found out, is no, because they are inanimate, so they cannot possess something. So let's just review when we use the possessive apostrophe S. So we use this when we are talking about something that belongs to someone or something. So this is Kate's phone. This is my husband's pen, okay? We can even use two possessives in the same noun phrase. So we went to Tom's father's funeral. So because it is the father of Tom and it's the funeral of the father of the father of Tom, the funeral of the father of Tom. So the apostrophe S is replacing the of. We can also use the possessive S when we're talking about time and duration. So for example, did you see yesterday's newspaper? I've only had 1 week's holiday so far this year. So both yesterday's and weeks are apostrophe S. Now, when it's a plural noun, remember the apostrophe goes after the S. So for example, upstairs, my eldest girl has her own bedroom. So I would say my girl's bedroom, apostrophe S. Now, when my second daughter joins her in that bedroom, it will become the girl's bedroom. So that will be S apostrophe. Okay. Now, obviously, with irregular plural nouns, you're not going to put S apostrophe. So, for example, the children's parents. Okay, it's apostrophe S. Or the people's rights. Okay. Now, when we were talking about inanimate objects, so with compound nouns, so not with compound nouns, sorry, but with inanimate objects, we don't usually have the possessive. So we don't say the door's handle, okay, the handle of the door. We say the door handle. So door is acting like an adjective. Or we don't say the shop's window, the window of the shop. We say the shop window. So shop has become an adjective. Or for example, I'm sitting on the kitchen table, not the kitchen's table. Okay, so this is where it was a bit confusing for, to be honest, myself as well as my student, because with inanimate objects, you might think that it should be apostrophe S, but because it's inanimate, we don't talk about things. So yeah, when we're talking about things that belong to us, relationships or characteristics of people or animals or countries or categories or groups, we use the S. But when we're talking about when the noun is not a person, animal, country, or organization, then we're going to use just of. Okay, so for example, we don't say the ship's name was HMS Britannia, which is the Queen's ship. We say the name of the ship was Britannia. Okay, because the ship is not a person, animal, country, or organization. It's inanimate. And I think that is where there was a lot of confusion, because we want to say the ship's name because we've been told not to have of, because it's better to have the apostrophe S in place of in a sentence. But when we're talking about anything that could belong to a person, have a characteristic of a person, animals are, they're animate. Anything animate, countries, categories, groups are made up of people. So therefore they're animate. Therefore, we're going to use the apostrophe S. But when it's inanimate, we use of. So as I said, the name of the ship rather than the ship's name. But however, we would say the cat's paw or the girl's bedroom. Okay, so I hope that clarified a little bit, because it was something that I was a bit not confused by, but I did suddenly think, oh, that is a really, really, really good point. It's not something that we often talk about when we talk about the possessive. We don't talk that actually it is not used with the inanimate objects. So that's all from me from today. If you like these videos, please click the subscribe button. Please click the like button so that you get notified for when I give more useful tips in English. And if you ever want a more personalized approach, feel free to go onto our website and book a trial lesson with me so that I can help you in your English. For now, I'll see you next week. Have a great